because that
Yeah,
because that whole last video that I had I can still download that, so it's saved, and I'll be able to still put the video together, so I'm not
yeah,
really
that's
too
what I
worried
was
about it.
assuming. I told him that I was like, yeah, he probably be able to edit it together. He
Yeah, yeah, I can just chop it up,
usually have
but
first.
I do kind of have to reposition this picture
Get this
because I
one
think I
together.
had it different. I think it was like that. I'm not really sure though, but
I know.
we talked about Malvina. What's the next question? Okay, so now we're going to talk about Jamari and like injuries and stuff like that.
Back a
So
lot.
um, you want to take a second, or you want to just go ahead and?
We waiting
Oh
on
yeah,
you. I was just making sure
we
you was
good.
ready.
All right. So
Bet.
Jamari, let's talk about injuries because that's something that nobody prepares athletes for. What was the hardest part about being injured? Was it physically or mentally?
Honestly, I would say mentally, with the aspect of physically in it.
Yeah.
Cause getting injured, going from doing everyday normal things like walking, going up the steps, even going to the bathroom, getting in the
Hmm.
shower, that affects you physically and also mentally.
Yeah.
Cause I feel like me personally, when it comes to injuries, it's a more mental aspect than it is as a physical aspect.
Yeah.
Because you're thinking, okay, you're away from the field. So one, coach is not seeing you practice. You're scared to lose your job
Hmm.
and stuff like that. And then two, just I'm injured. Like
Yeah.
I'm gonna ask you a question. Hey, how's everything going? Going such like that. Just saying you're injured over and over again really plays a hard reality in your mind
Yeah.
for sure.
No. Yeah. I never actually sustained the injury other than like when I was really young, but
Right.
never in football. So I'm extremely lucky. But I do remember when all my teammates were injured, and I'd always go up to them and I try to just put a hand on them and ask them, hey, hey, how you doing? What do you got to do for the PT and the recovery? What's the process when you're gonna be back? And
Right.
sometimes I feel like I failed to like recognize that mental aspect like that you're talking about because I mean being injured like that to the point where you can't walk the same like
Right.
let alone playing but like just doing those same everyday activities that you do, going to the bathroom, walking around, opening doors, just getting up and out of the bed. I mean that can probably take a huge mental toll, so I commend you for how you faced it and persevered through it. And
Thank you. Thank you.
that yeah, I commend you for that.
Appreciate
um
it.
the next question that I got for you is how does an injury mess with your confidence?
It messed with it a lot. Like I said, going back to what I just said, you can't do everyday things.
Yeah.
So you really, what I'm saying, can't hang out with friends. You barely in class because I mean, you don't want to crutch all the way across campus.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
with the injury I sustained, I would say probably my worst injury is rupturing my patella tendon.
Mm-hmm.
So, and it was my left leg, and I honestly really couldn't
Sheesh.
drive at all. So, you know, and confidence, like, okay, I'm in class every day. Now I'm not in class, so as soon as I get back to class, I have a presentation. I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm nervous now because I ain't been in class, and
Yeah.
hadn't really got into
Absolutely.
things and stuff like that. So I would say that aspect of it is probably why confidence goes down,
Mm-hmm.
for a lot of people dealing with injuries and stuff like that.
And what would you say? Was there anything that you did that per se helped with that confidence, or kind of just helped take your mind off of it? Was there anything that like you could mention that you would do?
Oh yeah, talking,
Yeah.
talking to my roommate Simon. We've been knowing each other for 5 years, and like people nowadays see us and be like, y'all been knowing each other y'all whole life. No, we met freshman year up here, man, and
Yeah.
I honestly just want to thank him on here because
For sure.
without Simon, you feel me? I don't think I would still be here.
Yeah.
Having an ear and somebody that's basically not going through the same stuff but going through things in life that we can, at the end of the day, come sit and talk. Even Vaughn, Fred,
Yeah, we got
even
plenty,
yeah,
plenty. We got
plenty
plenty of people.
teammates come in the room. We talk. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Because like at the end of the day, we're humans. We're not machines that were destined just to play football.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh
We
yeah.
still
No.
have emotions
Absolutely.
and stuff. Yeah, for
And
sure.
at the
And
end
I
of the
and I
day,
feel
we
like from
oh,
the public's view on that too, like sometimes they probably don't really see that because they're only watching Saturday. They're only watching
Right.
game day. They're not seeing the morning lifts, the meetings, the talks in the calf, the talks in the classroom, when people run around pulling pranks, shooting each other with those orbs, like the orb guns and all that. Like they don't see
No
like they
cap.
don't see all that. So I think that it's great that you had your teammate, and it sounds like you call my brother Simon, that was able to be there, stay there, and be an ear to listen and a mouth to talk, and just all that camaraderie. It goes a long way, and I'm really glad that you found that. And I mean,
sure.
if there's anybody else who is watching or who sees this, they'll be able to probably come to the same conclusion. Like when you're with your friends and going over stuff and talking about just everyday things in life, it probably helps kind of ease that mind and take that stress and pain from the injury away a little bit. So
For sure.
the next question that I got for you, so what was it like watching your teammates compete? Ooh, hold on, let me go back. That was a voice crack. But so what was it like watching your teammates compete while you were on the sideline?
Honestly, I would say envy. Because at the end of the day, we're all human, like I said, and everybody sits back when they're injured and like, why me?
Mm-hmm.
But then in my mind, I'm like, why not you? You feel me? You still have the opportunity to be out with the brothers that you went through spring camp, fall camp, 100-degree heat, almost dying.
Yeah.
Almost dying. Why not cheer them on instead of being selfish, sitting over there soaking in you feel me? Like,
yeah.
So I enjoy watching the younger guys get out there and have fun.
Yeah.
Because when we came in, we had just came off the natty season, so it was strictly business.
Yeah.
Strictly business. So just being able to sit back, watch the younger guys have fun, laugh, smile, and do things like that, it brought me peace with my injury.
Mm-hmm.
Because at the end of the day, I got an opportunity to come back and be able to finish what I started in this journey. So, I just forever grateful for God for allowing me to do that.
Absolutely. That's an awesome answer.
What he said real quick. I was gonna say, with me being injured at a point as well, like when it comes to the younger guys, it's like it give you a little bit of time to not only sit back and think about how you were, but it's also like you kind of get the help. Like, and most people enjoy helping people. It's just like if I ain't playing, I really got a whole hour, 2 hours to sit here while I watch you practice. And every time you got a question you want to come over and ask me, yes, I'd be glad to help you out. You my little brother.
Of course.
So it's just that feeling. You get that feeling, and that kind of helps you push through.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. And both those answers are great because, I mean, Jamar, you're talking about, like, at first you felt envy, but then you go on to think, well, the why not you? And then that kind of leads you to kind of get that fire under you just for watching your teammates play, and it kind of just gets that fire under you to cheer them on and be happy in them and with them. And then Simon, what you're talking about, the aspect of even though you're hurt doesn't mean that you can't be a factor in anything. You're starting to help those young guys if they have questions in terms of anything with the playbook or anything at all when it comes to their job as a receiver, being a veteran guy. I mean, you know all those things. So both those answers are great. I think you guys both are you handled what happened to y'all very well and persevered through everything very well. So that's awesome. Go on to the next question here. Okay, so this is a question for like the relationship, like with coaches after and everything. So I want to see. I'll ask it to both of y'all. Y'all just whoever wants to go first.
Separately.
Yeah, just go first. But how do injuries affect your relationship with coaches, especially when you're not producing on the field?
I'd say everybody knows football is a man's game.
Mm-hmm.
So somebody go down with an injury, it's next man up.
Yeah.
You might not get the love that you want from the coaches, like asking you okay on a daily basis, because at the end of the day, they have a job to do.
Yep.
You don't want them being worried about you. You're hurt, man. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I go back and say, like, keep a smile on your face even when you're injured. They're gonna ask you if you're okay, but at the same time, they got a job to do. Because then if y'all not producing, y'all not winning because he's worried about you, he lost his job. He can't feed his family. Yeah. So I wouldn't take it to heart when it comes to relationship with coaches after you get injured. Because at the end of the day, it's a business. Like, yeah. I mean, that's all I can say about it.
That's awesome answer. Great
Definitely.
Answer.
A lot of people like to say that the NFL and the NBA and all that is a business, but college for sure it's already business.
Sure.
You are already into it. Even sometimes high school nowadays.
Yeah. A lot of certain high schools too. I mean, those power high schools they got in Texas. I mean, shoot.
Man.
Schools like Bishop Miege, I I bet those coaches' paychecks is crazy.
Crazy.
But I like that answer.
I was gonna say,
Treating the college athletic world like a business.
For sure. For sure.
You got anything
I
else that you wanted to say,
yeah,
Simon?
I was gonna say for me, when it comes to like relationships with the coaches with injury, I kind of used it as a way. Like I said, I was pretty smart, so I kind of used it as a way to like, all right, you gonna see what I do even when I'm not on the field. Like I'm gonna
Mm,
show up to every meeting. I'm gonna show up to practice, like he said, with a smile on my face. I'm gonna help out everybody I can. I'm gonna hype up everybody I can, and shit, it's gonna get to the point where the coach gonna have to turn around and he'll tell you it's gonna happen plenty of times. You probably even realized it yourself,
yeah.
Sammy. But it's coach gonna turn around and ask me like, "Hey, is this right?"
For sure.
And I've been sitting there so long, I don't observed everything. I done been here so long that I'm gonna tell him like, yeah, that's right. I know what to do. I'm surprised you don't, but I know what to do. Yeah.
Coach
So it
Simon.
like, man,
No cap.
man. But it like it get to the point where it's like you kind of use it as an advantage of like, all right, like I may not be physically available, but even when I'm not, I'm still useful.
Yeah.
Like I said, like teaching young guys, helping older guys. Like I was an older guy and just acclimating people who transfer in, acclimating them to the system,
Hmm.
like stuff like that.
Yeah.
You got a use for being around. You're a human.
Yep.
You not a machine.
Yeah.
Like because you broke, just because one little gear in you broke, don't mean you don't work no more. You're not a
Yeah.
machine.
No cap.
Absolutely. I like both those answers. They both show a level of maturity, and I think that's great. Kind of what I was saying earlier about the college treating it like a business aspect, because it really is a business at the end of the day. And how you were saying, Jamari, like not to take nothing to heart, because at the end of the day, that's their jobs as coaches. They gotta not only worry about you, but they gotta also worry about the 99 or 100 other guys that they gotta take care of within the team and within the function. And then Simon, what you were saying, like showing that even though that you hurt and you're not going to be on the field, they going to see you and they going to know that you're still staying on the right track. You're not just sulking around, rotting in your bed or doing what you're not supposed to be doing when you're injured. You're going to your PT, you're going to the meetings, you're showing up to the weight room even when you're not supposed to lift or touch. You're just showing up, showing face with a smile, and doing your part. And I think that's great. And I think it just shows great maturity on both your answers. And kudos again to both of y'all on that. The next segment, so we're gonna be talking about mentality and self-belief. So both of y'all have faced moments where things didn't look so good, grades, injuries, or doubt. So how do you stay mentally locked in when things are not going your way?
Like on a simple level, I real life say it to myself all the time. Like things could be worse. Like
Yeah.
especially
sure.
like I know
Yeah.
too many people with too many like much worse situations. Like
Yeah.
and there's people who can control it, there's people who can't control it, and then like there's the simple fact of we're in college. We have the option to, we already made it here this far. It's like why
Yeah.
would we throw this away?
For
Why would
sure.
I do that? So it's like just because I got injured, don't mean I'm about to give up on school. Just
Yeah.
because I got an F, don't mean I'm quitting football and I'm going back home. Just because coach kicked me out for one semester because of my grades,
Yeah.
don't mean I'm not about to go get my grades right. Like I said, get the education on track to where I can go ahead and transfer if I don't mess with this school, or come back and play here.
For
Yeah.
sure.
Like all of the above. Like I feel like just having that mindset of like, especially in small situations, like coach just yelled at you. All right, it could be worse. Like it literally could be. Coach could have just kicked your ass out of practice.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah. No
And
doubt.
also,
Go ahead.
oh, my fault, my fault. Also, to add to that, at the end of the day, you got to be a man. You know, I mean, yeah, injuries suck and stuff like that, but you call out of work 2 weeks in a row. I mean, you ain't gonna have no job. So,
Yeah.
I
That's
mean,
facts.
so just man, I would say just go with the flow. Don't try to do too much, but don't try to do too little. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Keep it neutral and just let everything flow, man.
Yeah. No, that's great. That's a great answer. And I think too, like both of y'all kind of hit on the aspect of like it's a man's sport. And I think that's very true because even though like yeah, the coaches and everybody is there for you, at the end of the day, everybody is their own individual young
Yeah.
man. You're playing
Dealing
with
with it.
guys, you know, yeah. Yeah,
Yep.
and you're playing with guys around the age of 18 to 24, you know, age range. So a lot of the
27.
time, yeah, yeah. There's some 20 25. There's some
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
not many, not many. I was never.
Nah.
I know I'm unk, but I ain't that old. I'm 23. I'm still 23. But
Hey,
anyway,
we right behind you.
yeah. But to go back on it, like how we are talking about it is a man's sport. So sometimes there are certain things that you gotta be able to handle on your own mentally, or else if you can't, then you're just gonna crack and fold, and that just means that it's probably not for you. It's probably not what you should be doing.
For
But
sure.
if you are able to persevere and face that adversity and get through it, then you'll, you know, once you get past it, you'll be able to, bend and not break. But if you can't get past that first hill, then you're never gonna, be able to reach the top of a mountain. So I do completely agree with y'all on, the it's a man's sport. Sometimes you do gotta, just get down and find it deep in within yourself, just to kind of get over those humps and those bumps and those bruises sometimes, man. And even though if they're, really rough. So
For sure. For sure.
this next question, let's get into the next question. So Simon, what kept you believing you could change the narrative?
Uh, let me think for a second.
Man, take your time, man. You good?
I kind of, yeah. I mean, honestly, I've been doing it like my whole life, kind of like when I was young. It was always people telling me like, I'm out running around doing dumb stuff. I'm from a city, so it's like a whole lot to get into. And you young, you're a kid, you out doing a whole lot of stupid stuff. A whole bunch of people telling me like, oh, you know better, you could do better, this, that, and the third. And it's like, in my mind, I already, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, I know better. I know I could do better. So I go ahead and do it. And then once I already prove somebody wrong, it's like, all right, that's a good feeling. Like
Yeah.
now
I bet.
I gotta figure out what I gotta do to prove whoever, especially if it's a negative kind of
Yeah.
feeling. I feel like and it's kind of a bad thing because once you get too far into it, you got so many negative thoughts in your mind, it could kind of weigh yourself down. But I
Mhm.
feel like negative motivation is the best motivation. So when somebody looks at you and tell you you can't do something, especially when like it's something like that you want to do or that you feel like will be positive towards you, then it's like that's kind of the best motivation you can get. And I don't know, I feel like that's just kind of what I feed off of. It's like
Mhm.
somebody tell me I can't do something, or they didn't even have to say nothing. I could just tell by the way they act or how they, treat me. It's like,
Mhm.
all right, you don't believe in me or you don't think I could reach the next level. It's like, all right, I'm gonna go do it. Like,
Yeah.
and I'm gonna be determined the whole time. And then as soon as I'm done, I'm gonna look back and I'm gonna look at you and I'm gonna still be determined
Yeah.
by you behind me. All right, I done passed you and I'm still going.
Yeah.
I ain't even gonna give you no time to catch up.
Yeah. No, that's awesome, man. And to go off what you're saying, I mean, I think it's great because it kind of just shows that, persevere forward one step at a time, even if things, might not
Yeah.
necessarily go your way. Because what you're saying, feeding off the kind of the negative energy or the negative reactions off of people, I mean, sometimes for certain people like yourself, like it can help because when somebody's telling you like you're no better than this person, you can't do this, you're never gonna amount to nothing. But, in your head, you're like, okay, bet, like let's do it, and then it kind of just makes a switch go off, and it just
Mhm.
makes you want to, better yourself just to kind of prove them wrong. And some people kind of feed off that,
Mhm.
everybody's different. Some people, they got haters, and they want to beat the haters, like they want to shut them up sometimes, and I think that's great. And I think if you can take even if you have like you probably still have positive energy going
Mhm.
into things
All
from
day, every
certain
day.
people, but if you can also take the negative aspects of what's coming out of people and turn that into something positive for yourself in order to just keep yourself persevering and going, and that's a ice into the cake, and I think
Yeah,
that's great.
I got an example, and then I got a kind of something to add. It's like,
Hmm.
doing something good for your mama. Like when people say they mama, they motivation. It's
Hmm.
like, all right, you get that done, and that feels like you were supposed to do it.
Hmm.
But when like the little example I was gonna say, I had two assistant principals. One of them was an older white man. The other one was a older white lady, and the older white man, he did not like me at all. He was kind of an obstacle for me to graduate high
Mm-hmm.
school. So when I graduated high school, I remember we were supposed to have the COVID year to come back to high school, and he had ended up becoming the principal, the main principal. He was supposed to sign a paper for us to come back. I asked him the day we were supposed to sign it, and he said, "Yeah, I'm allowed to sign it, but I'm not going to because I don't want y'all to come back."
Oh, that's crazy.
And you know, COVID year people, we thinking like, "Oh, we finna get more stats, we finna get better grades." Like,
Yeah.
I'm looking at it like, "Oh, he hating, like he don't want me to do better."
Yeah.
So I went to school, and that was part of my negative motivation as well. I used to think about that every once in a while.
Mm-hmm.
And I went back when I was injured, I went back home, and I went to our high school trainer, and he was doing physical therapy with me for a little bit. And I was sitting in his office, and the white dude, he was still the principal at my high school.
Yeah.
He walked into the training room, and he was talking. He was mad because the whole gym was messed up. People didn't clean it up. He walked in there, he seen me, he got real surprised. And the first thing I thought of, I said, "Hold up, look." Pulled out my phone, and I showed him my transcripts, and I had like 2 straight semesters with all A's, and he was just jaw dropped. He was like, "Oh, I never did that," and I was like, Right.
But sure.
You know what I'm saying? Like moments like that, yeah, I could go to school, finish school, turn around, hug my mama at graduation. That's what I feel like I'm supposed to do.
Yeah.
But him to sit there every day while I'm in school to do all those negative things, to take me in the office and tell me this, that, and the third, why you act like that, and not understand my life, for me to turn around and be like, "Oh, well, I done did better than you now after you done sat here and talked all this stuff about me." Like that's a different type of feeling.
Yeah, no, absolutely. He basically was saying you don't have the credentials, and then at the end of the day, you had them. You pulled them out.
Yo.
Like you said, his jaw dropped. He was bamboozled.
Yeah, like,
Like that's awesome, man. Let me go on to the next question. Jamari, so this next question is for you. So, what kept you pushing during your rehab process for your injury?
Honestly, first things come to mind is family, friends, but most importantly, myself. Telling myself like, this ain't it, this ain't over. Go the extra mile this day.
Yeah.
In rehab. Because of course, it was hard for me to bend my leg, but just thinking about what I've been through, how far I came, and just it put me in the mindset like, can't nothing stop me.
Yeah.
If I still got this in my chest and this up here still working, can't nothing stop me from getting back to what I want to do. So just having everybody in my corner, just letting me know that it's gonna be okay. Tomorrow's a new day, so just keep going and just keep working, and eventually the outcome you want is gonna come.
That's awesome, man. And I'm glad, like how you're saying, not only do you have the people in your corner riding for you and pushing you and telling you all the stuff like how you're going to be okay, but also you yourself, you're not giving up on yourself, and you're
Right.
just finding that grit and determination. And I bet you're going through the process of rehab and PT, and I bet you're probably, it probably wasn't, physically easy, but for you, it probably made it a little bit mentally. It probably made it a little bit more easier for you, and it probably made it even sped up the process. Because I've heard about sometimes when certain athletes they taken their rehab and PT and things like that so serious, like they can even speed up their own healing process just by sticking with it at such a high rate. So I think it's
sure.
great. I think that's great for you.
For sure.
We're gonna go on to segment 6. We're gonna be talking about academic success. So both of y'all ended up academic all honors, and Jamari, you even made the president's list. What did academics teach you about discipline and life beyond football?
Man, with any field you go into, academics is probably one of the most important things, because let's say, you walk in for an interview, there's your resume and another person's resume.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have that college on there, those grades on their transcripts, and things like that in that nature. You're definitely not getting the job,
Yeah.
because at the end of the day, they're going to go with the best person that they feel fits the job, and then, yeah, from there.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
The more roles you fit or the more stuff you've done, the more higher of a chance you have to, I guess, be a part of what they need. And then you're gonna have to re-say the question real quick. Rethink about what
No, you're good. So I was saying that both of y'all ended up on academics honors, and then I said, What did academics teach you about discipline and life beyond football?
Um, I gotta just think about that one. Like, I feel like it's kind of it's I don't know how to explain it. It's like
Yeah, take your time, man. You
the
good?
more like the more educated you are, the more areas you're gonna apply to. So like, say I speak this many languages, I could go speak to this many people, and say I know this much stuff, then I could go speak to that many people about all of this different stuff. And we done talked about building connections and stuff like that is a key. The
Mm-hmm.
more connections you got, the more you can network, and the more you can kind of navigate your way around not only money but just conversations and
Yeah.
feelings and people. Like that's what gets you not only to money but to further levels, further status.
Yeah.
And not everybody want to be famous or anything, but you know a whole bunch of people you don't know their name, but they got $1 million plus, and it's just because they know a whole bunch of people who got $1 million plus. Like
Yeah.
it's kind of the networking situation. Like I feel like the more educated you are, then it's gonna make it easier after life to find something to get into and find people that be able to benefit you.
Yeah. No, absolutely. I agree with both of y'all on both of y'all answers. I was gonna add in like my piece, like especially after college when I was trying to find a job, I was just going from dealership to dealership with my resume. And granted, I built it up a little bit with with part-time jobs. But I think the thing that stood out the most was just having a degree overall, because that just shows that you stuck out, 4 or 5 or 6 or however many years of college you stuck out to get that degree. You went to those classes at the times that they were required. You did the assignments, you did the tests, you did the presentations, you did everything that was required of you. And now you got, this applicable paper from this institution, school, university, whatever it is. And it kind of just shows like that you're ready for that, that workforce, whether it be an office job, factory job, construction, it can be any type of job depending on what your degree is.
For sure.
And I think like how y'all both are saying, it will apply you to be able to, one, how you're saying, Jamari, build your resume, but two, Simon, how you're saying, build connections, because people that in the job world is sometimes more important than what you already have. One of my buddies, he played at University of Central Missouri, and I ended up working with him for a little bit at the Ford dealership that I was working part-time at. And I was just on the phone with him like 2 days ago, and he got a new job like that's paying way more money, and they gave him a company car, and he got the job because he played golf with like the CFO or CEO of this new job that he's working. Like literally the craziest way to get this man got a job by playing golf and a
Yeah,
truck with it.
get like that though, and then
like
it's like
like that's connections. You know what I'm
for
saying?
sure,
So, and
for
I
sure,
don't
for
think he would have gotten it if he didn't, one, have his college education, that he already had, and two, have the resume built up that he had.
sure.
And I think having both of those and then applying himself when he was talking to this guy, because the guy must have liked him enough to offer him a position to be a salesperson for the position that he was applying for. Otherwise, he wouldn't have like, oh yeah, I'll put in a word for you so you can go get this job. He wouldn't have done it unless he thought this dude was competent and if he liked him. And he was able to connect with him on a professional and personal level just by his past history and what he's done in school and applying that into real life. And I think both of what y'all just said, a lot of these athletes need to hear that, because like how you guys were both saying earlier, if plan A don't work, what's plan B? What are you
Right.
going to do?
Yeah,
So I
man,
think those
I
were
ain't gonna
great
lie.
answers.
Really, even if you get out of high school and you don't want to go to college, go for that first semester, because then when you leave and you tell them that you went, you could walk into any job, like any
Yeah.
regular job, and be like, "Yeah, I'm in college." They gonna give you that motherfucker like that.
Yeah. It just
Yeah,
it
for
just
sure.
shows
Like,
like,
like
work ethic.
that. You don't even have to stay. Don't even finish. Just show up and tell them you in there.
No, we need him to finish. Hey, y'all still gotta finish.
For sure, for sure.
uh what's my next I had the next segment 7, advice to the athletes. So I asked both of y'all, y'all just answer one at a time, whatever y'all want to do. if a young wide receiver is watching this right now, struggling with their grades, injuries, doubt, or anything, or any athlete for that matter, what is something that you would tell them?
Don't give up. You don't learn nothing by quitting it. You know, you're gonna face trials and tribulations every day of your life. So why quit now when you've already taken, those steps to get through what you already been through? Because I mean, at the end of the day, life isn't easy. So just find ways to get around different challenges and things like that instead of just quitting entirely. Because at the end of the day, it's not gonna make you a man.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And I feel like a big help with finding ways to get over these obstacles is having a. It don't got to be the best or most perfect. Me and him ain't perfect humans. The people we hang out with ain't perfect. But having a circle, having people to hang out with, people to pick apart their mind, talk to them, just all of the above. Maybe it just relieve your stresses, talking to them, having a conversation about something that don't even have to do with what you're thinking about. Maybe you talk about what you're thinking about and you kind of get over that problem or you figure something out to help with that problem. All of the above, I feel like just having people around you that you at least feel are positive in your mind or that you can tell are positive people for your life is definitely something that'll help with those kind of obstacles and to definitely give you more of a easier path through it.
Absolutely. No, those are great answers.
To add
Go
one more
ahead.
thing, my fault. To add one more thing to it, it's okay not to be okay. You feel me? Just like he said, find somebody you can talk to. Because at the end of the day, yeah, you telling your feelings, you might feel like you soft, but at least you getting it out and holding it in.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, you hold it in, you're beating yourself up more than anybody else could.
Nah, yeah, though. I ain't gonna lie, I done called him and then our two other roommates one night, bawling my eyes out, like bawling.
Yeah.
All three. I'm talking about middle of the night. All three of them answered, sat there and talked to me for
Yeah.
sure. Like you gonna need people like that eventually, cause
Oh yeah.
like imagine I'm sitting there crying by myself. I ain't got nobody to talk to. Who knows
Yeah.
what I do tonight?
Shoot.
And not to say it like that, I don't be thinking like that, but other
But
people,
still though,
other people have those type of problems.
Yeah, no, yeah. And it's better to get that out and talk with somebody about it rather than be in your bed or be in your car by yourself. Like it's just
For
it's
sure.
sometimes humans, like, we need to like find some way to release or like relinquish whatever stresses or whatever emotional distress that we're feeling. It's like you're saying, don't hold it in. Like you
sure.
can let it out. If someone truly cares about you, whether that be one of your teammates or your friends or family, whoever it is, they will listen to the problems and your feelings, because at the end of the day, it should be validated by people who say that they care about you. At the end of the day, it should be validated by them. So
For sure.
we're at the closing now, so I'll just go ahead and do the outro. If you guys were watching on the live stream, I really do appreciate it. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe to the YouTube and the Twitch. They're both going to be the same handle. It's going to be XACE XST2X. Same for both the handles. Just go ahead and follow, like, share, and subscribe. I really do appreciate it. Jamari and Simon, you guys were great. Thank you guys so much for being on the stream. And I hope everybody who is watching, have a blessed rest of y'all day. Thank
you having us.
Yes, sir.
Absolutely.
Thank you for the opportunity, Sammy.
Absolutely,
Miss playing
man.
with you, my brother.
I miss playing with y'all too.
Man.
I'm let me see here. I don't think nobody said nothing in the chat. I think Jaden was in here earlier.
Jig?
Yeah, I think he was, because he commented and said he said walk, but I don't know if it was him. Weston talking about where's the super chat? What is he talking about? Ain't no super chat. We ain't
He's trying to send you some money.
Speed. I'm not speed, bro.
Thanks for the 5
He's
gifts.
trying to send you some money, gang.
I can't have my thing monetized yet. I don't have enough I don't have my my sub account high enough yet. But no, I think the questions are gone because the last stream that I had, it just ended. So I don't have them saved on there. So
Gotcha.
But we can just go ahead and end it. I'll go ahead and I'll start editing the video tonight because I got work tomorrow and I don't want to. I don't want to do it tomorrow after work. I'm too tired. So
For sure, for
I'm gonna
sure.
do it tonight, and I'll post it on Wednesday on my YouTube channel, and then kind of like how I did with all the other guys who've been on it. I'll make like 3 or 4 or 5 reels, and then I'll start posting them and tagging y'all on them and putting them up on the story and everything. So
For sure, for
is
sure.
Fred in there?
No.
Oh, boo, boo, you, Fred. I wonder how he's. I always wonder how he's been doing.
Bro.
Nah, he doing good. He locking in for sure.
Is he still there?
Yeah.
Like at school? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, bad. Well, thank y'all again so much. I think this is
Of
gonna
course,
be great.
y'all.
I'm gonna go ahead and start editing this right now. So, I'll see y'all boys, or I'll talk
right,
to
bro.
y'all boys, tomorrow. I'll see y'all.
Love, Brody.
Love, gangs. Love y'all guys.